Hi, welcome to The Creative Specialist. My name's Gemma. I am said creative specialist, and today apparently is Blue Monday. It is the 20th of January and it is apparently the most depressing day of the year. So the year where we feel like all our resolutions have failed, we've not been productive at any point in the last 20 days. It's Monday, so we've got to go back to work again. And it's just not a very nice day apparently. Is it the third Monday in January? Second Monday in January? Anyway, here, as you can see, it's a lovely sunny day. I've been quite productive, but the whole of January hasn't been perfect. And there's been a kind of activity which I've been meaning to talk to you about. If you will have read what my definition of creativity, if you haven't, I'll put it in the description below. It is thinking outside the box when you need to, doing things a little bit unorthodox, trying the standard ways, trying the non-standard ways, and not being ashamed to do what works for you, really. For me, I am obviously a writer in my own practice. That's what I do to be creative. So obviously it's not like dance, it's not like the performing arts, it's not even like art, really. I'm not getting up, moving. It's very much sitting at your keyboard. You're not getting any endorphins flowing by moving around all the time, or being able to get your emotions out by doing big gestures with paint, or being able to get hands-on with fiddling with lots of essentials and all of those things. There's only so many notebooks you can have, and there's only so much tactile fulfillment that those notebooks can bring to you. Sadly, I've tried, but sometimes they don't fill a hole for tactility. This is something which I've done quite often before in various different ways, and it's one of those things where you might think I'm crazy, but that's the point. For those moments where you need to get something out, you need to get moving, but sometimes it's hard to do some of those things because you feel like it's got to be a certain way. This will literally show you a way to get moving, a way to get some of those endorphins out, those emotions out, but in a way that is really unproductive. So you're not going to feel any pressure to be productive because there isn't any. I'm doing this on the school run to prove just how easy this is. You can fit it into any time in your day. The school run is something that I know a lot of people perhaps feel anxious about for multiple reasons, whether that be because they feel like they've got to go and face school cliques, or because they've got a child that doesn't like the school run, and there's all those emotions. But just to prove that you can literally do it anywhere, I've always got a notebook on me because number one, I'm a writer and apparently that's part of my job description, but number two, I leave it in my bag because otherwise I'd forget to take stuff out everywhere. It's got an avocado on, I think that's supposed to be. I have got a collection of these notebooks that you might see quite a lot. Got an aubergine and a peach, but I thought if I'm taking one out in public, I'll go with the more demure one. And just to prove that actually, if you were going to do this, plain paper might be better, but this is just what I've got to hand. And a pen that, when I looked for a pen in my bag hoping that I had one, I saw a chocolate wrapper and thought, oh, that's a pen. It wasn't a pen, it was chocolate. Other essentials that you need to have in your bag. So like I say, this is literally about whatever works. If you think it's crazy, that's absolutely fine. However, I encourage you to perhaps give it a go. So what we're going to do is another form of doodling, I suppose. That's the closest thing to it. I personally don't doodle because I am rubbish at drawing. I know that technically some artists will say anybody can draw. However, it doesn't bring me satisfaction. I get quite stressed out by it, and there's no point doing something creative that you're going to get stressed out by. So usually when I'm feeling frustrated, I'll take a piece of paper. I've done this in various forms before. Listen to music and scribble in time to the music, or because I know T-line shorthand, if you don't know what that is, look it up, it's insane. Sometimes I'll listen to song lyrics and get those down because you've really got to concentrate and move your hand fast, and it kind of gets those out. But for the last week, what I've been thinking is I had quite a tough emotional week last week, and my reaction to most things when I'm told no is to just go no. Myself, just to go no. no, I'm not gonna take your no. So it's a no from me. So for example, if I was going to do it this last week, this was what I would have done. So take a page and just write no. Doesn't have to be neat. You can pick any word you want. Doesn't have to be a word. It can be, like I say, scribbling along to music, just making shapes. If you do like doodling, then doodling. But like I say, there's no point to it. It's not like where there have been times where I've purposely gone out for a walk, put music on, because I know that's going to bring an epiphany. But my mind knows that that's what I want. I want something from it. You don't want anything from it. You don't want anything from this at all. You just want to move your hand. So you don't have to get violent with it. You can be very nice to it, and find it quite calming. So, you know, do your bubble writing. This is all going to be backwards as well. Do your bubble writing if that's what makes you feel calm. For me, mine would be very fast, no, in the same way that I would do shorthand. I think this is really good for if you've got a message that you want to get out, if you want to. There are some times where I just want to scream, I don't know, or no, or swear word of your choice, and just get it down. Sometimes I find as well, especially in the creative sector, it can be, you're always trying to think outside of the box. You're always trying to think how you can make something new or make it more you, make it feel better. Something like that. And I think that's why I personally enjoy doing stuff like Lego, because it's very set in stone. You follow the instructions. There's no original thought necessary. So say, like I've done here, just drawn a row. If your goal is literally to just try and get them as uniform as possible, how many can I fit in this row? And I can count them if I want, if I feel like I need some structure. I can not count them if I feel that I need my mind to get out of structure. You could scribble it to the point of your whole page, it's just going to look nonsensical because it's all going to say the same thing over and over again, and it'll just end up being scribbles. There are a million different ways you can do it. Actually, I think no was a good example because obviously I can write it fairly quickly. And it gets you out of the manner of thinking about how your handwriting is, and it's just more tactile than if in your head you've just got the rage, you're just fed up of being told no, you just have got stuck and you're frustrated by that. It's just a way of getting that out. But sometimes I find that, say if you just went and scribbled, that's not enough, because you just get frustrated that you've got nothing to focus on. You're just scribbling. So by scribbling a word or a message or a certain picture, there have been times where I've just drawn triangles and just geometrically put them across the page. Like I say, I do this a lot with shorthand as well. So actually, if you wanted to go and teach yourself shorthand, you wouldn't get frustrated with your own creativity, because you wouldn't have time to, because you'd be you'd be frustrated with trying to learn shorthand. And what I was about to say is I thought this example of a page would be better than what I've done, but that's the whole point. That there's no, oh, I'm going to fill a page with something and it's going to look like this. Even if you go into it with that notion, you will come out of it with a completely different notion of what it should look like, because actually you'll find that after a while you start to feel better. You'll start to maybe have some flow to it. Maybe you were overthinking it and it'll get more erratic, and that's exactly what you needed. But genuinely, give it a go. Pick your own word, pick your own shape, do it in time to music. I've done it to This Is Me before. On A4 paper. You'll think I'm mental, but you'll try it. You will. Please try it. And we'll get something out. So I want you to try it. And if you want to try it in shorthand, if you want to try it to music, let me know how it gets on. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know what your word was. find me at The Creativity Specialist on Instagram and show me your pictures of what you did. I will upload mine and get a little bit of frustration out and just moving for absolutely no reason. So don't overthink it. Have a go. Let me know how it goes on. And if you do it on the school run, let me know. So from our Blue Monday and our very sunny school run, try it and let me know.